Fluorescent lights buzzed softly above, flickering in Amelia's blurred vision as she lay on the cold delivery bed, drenched in sweat and fear. Her hands gripped the sides of the bed until her knuckles went white. Her dark hair clung to her face. Every inch of her body throbbed with exhaustion, but the pain didn't matter. She was almost there, almost at the moment she had dreamed about for 9 months, the moment she would hear her daughter cry. She was alone. No husband, no mother or friend. She had come to this hospital in the city because she didn't want pity. Her pregnancy had been a secret from almost everyone. She had run from the judgment of her small hometown. The father didn't even know. Amelia told herself she could do this on her own. Then came the last push. The agony tore through her like a blade. She screamed. And then silence. No crying, no soft whimper of life, just whispers, glances. The nurse at her side tightened her jaw and avoided Amelia's gaze. A doctor murmured something to a second nurse. The air in the room changed, heavier. Amelia's lips trembled. "Where is she?" she asked, her voice hoarse. "Where's my baby?" No one answered immediately. The only sound was the monitor, beeping. She repeated the question, louder this time, frantic. "Where is she?" A woman in pale blue scrubs finally turned toward her. Her expression was flat, unmoving. "I'm sorry," she said coldly. "Your baby didn't survive. There were complications." Amelia blinked. Her brain couldn't process the words. "No," she whispered. "No. I heard her heart. She was okay. I heard it yesterday." The nurse looked away. "You should rest now," Amelia screamed. The pain of childbirth had been nothing compared to this. Something inside her cracked open and spilled into the sterile room. No body was shown to her, no tiny face, just a vague apology and a paper to sign the next day. She signed it with shaking hands, too stunned to think. They told her the baby had been buried in a city mass grave for infants without families. She left the hospital 2 days later with empty arms and a hole in her chest that never healed. 5 years passed. Amelia sat behind the counter at Rosewood Cafe, the smell of cinnamon and roasted beans wrapping around her like a scarf. It was a quiet place, tucked away in a sleepy town far from where she used to live. She'd started working there 3 years ago and never left. People were kind but didn't ask too many questions. She liked that. The dreams hadn't stopped, though. Almost every night she saw her, a little girl with curly hair and bright eyes. Sometimes Amelia held her, rocked her to sleep. Other nights she watched her fade into the fog while calling her name. She had never seen her real face, but the ache was always the same. The bell above the cafe door jingled. Amelia looked up from restocking the napkins. A man entered wearing a worn denim jacket and tired eyes. Beside him skipped a little girl, no older than 5. She wore a pink sweater with stars and had soft chestnut curls. Her small sneakers squeaked on the tile floor as she walked with a carefree hop. Amelia's heart stopped. The girl glanced up, and Amelia saw green eyes. Deep, familiar, vibrant green. The same shade that looked back at her in the mirror every morning. She stared too long. The man ordered a black coffee and a banana muffin. The girl twirled slowly by the pastry case, peering in with fascination. Amelia knelt behind the counter to get something, but really to breathe. She rose again and smiled gently. "What's your name, sweetheart?" she asked. The girl beamed. "Ellie." Amelia blinked. The world spun. Ellie. That was the name she had chosen. The name she had whispered through her contractions again and again, like a prayer. No one at the hospital ever asked her for a name. She thought the name had died with her baby. She forced her voice to stay calm. That's a beautiful name. The girl tilted her head. Thanks. I'm 5. Amelia's knees nearly gave out. She laughed weakly. 5? Wow, you're such a big girl. The man came back to the counter, gently taking the girl's hand. Ellie, remember what I said about not talking to strangers? She's not a stranger, Ellie protested. She's nice. Amelia smiled. It's okay, she's sweet. The man gave a polite nod. Thanks. They left. Amelia stood frozen. Her hands trembled as she tried to clean the counter. She knocked over the tip jar, the name, the eyes, the curls, the age. It was impossible. But she knew. She knew. She came to work early the next morning. She didn't sleep. She just stared at the ceiling all night, running every moment of that hospital in her mind. What if they lied? What if her daughter didn't die? At 10:30, the bell above the door jingled again. The man returned, holding Ellie's hand. Same order. Amelia forced a smile. Back so soon? Yeah, he said. We're settling in. Just moved a week ago. Amelia swallowed. Where from? Upstate. My job relocated me. Welcome to town, she said. Ellie waved. At her. Amelia waved back. You know, she said casually, your daughter looks just like you. The man chuckled softly. She's actually adopted. We got her as a newborn. She was left at a hospital with no paperwork, no info, just a note. Amelia's fingers curled into the cash register. What did the note say? She asked. That she deserved love, nothing else. He paused. She was beautiful, still is. Amelia nodded, tears forming behind her lashes. What's your name? Brian. Nice to meet you. I'm Amelia. He smiled. Nice to meet you too. She watched them leave again. This time she wrote down his license plate. That night, Amelia tore her apartment apart, looking for the old box. The one she never opened. The one with her baby's paperwork, death certificate, medical forms. She read through everything. Something gnawed at her stomach. The doctor who signed the form, Dr. Weller, was a name she remembered but didn't recognize beyond that. She searched him, and there it was. Article after article. Doctor indicted in black market adoption. Ring, fake deaths, stolen babies. He'd been arrested 3 years ago, convicted, still in prison. Her baby, her Ellie, she didn't die. She was taken, sold. The next day she waited for Brian to return. When he did, she didn't waste time. I need to talk to you, please, not here, after your coffee. It's about Ellie. He looked alarmed, but agreed. They sat at a park bench behind the cafe. She showed him the papers, her daughter's fake death certificate, articles about the doctor, her hospital records, her photo, her DNA profile from an old ancestry test. Brian said nothing for a long time. Then, oh my God. He told her about his wife, how they had paid an agency. Legit, they thought. How Ellie had no records, no history, no birth certificate. Just a form with the name Eleanor handwritten at the top. No signature. His voice cracked. I didn't know, he whispered. I swear to you, I would have never taken her if I knew. Amelia nodded, crying. I believe you. He ran a hand over his face. I don't know what to do. She's my daughter. I know. I want to be in her life, he swallowed. Okay. Brian suggested they talk to Ellie's therapist. She'd been in therapy since his wife died. She had dreams sometimes, about a woman crying, calling her name. Amelia's throat caught. They began slowly. She became a friend of Daddy's. She came around once a week. They baked cookies. They painted rocks. Ellie asked for her every time she left. One day, Ellie sat in her lap and said, You feel like someone I knew before. Amelia hugged her tightly. "You're someone I've always known," she whispered. A month passed. One afternoon they sat in the cafe, coloring. Amelia drew a flower. "I used to have a little girl named Ellie," she said softly. Ellie looked up. "Where is she?" "She was taken a long time ago, but I never stopped loving her." Ellie didn't say anything for a moment. Then she climbed into Amelia's lap. She looked into her eyes. "You're her," she said. Amelia nodded. Tears fell freely. "So are you," she said. The court case took months. Investigators reopened old files. More parents came forward. More horror stories emerged. Brian relinquished custody voluntarily. It broke his heart, but he knew. "You're her mother," he said. "You always were." Amelia hugged him. "I'm not taking her away," she promised. "You're part of her life. You always will be." Ellie moved in with Amelia, slowly, first nights, then weekends, then forever. She called her Mom one Tuesday evening while they baked cookies. Amelia dropped the spoon and wept. Ellie hugged her. They never let go again.